It's almost like we're saying, define rock star. What exactly is a rock star, and where do they come from? What happens if we're all rock stars? Arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Renee Fleming.
Great, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. Look at you stepping through history here, being a part of the IMAX family now and stuff like that. I just love the way that we are bringing theater to everybody. Dance, music, everything. Yes. What a moment in history.
Yes, I agree. I couldn't agree more. That's why I'm doing this. It's an exciting opportunity.
How do you prepare for this moment? There's got to be. We don't get to see the practice and the studying and to work with that kind of a crew in order to make this happen.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of preparation in terms of the planning, the programming, deciding what it would look like, what would the text be, because the stories about the history of opera in these cities are endless. And also who the other performers would be, and scheduling is always hard. So, but I was especially stunned by the beauty of the filming and how really special and unique it is.
Is there any way that you can have an inside view before it happens? Where you step into an IMAX theater or anything like that?
Yes, they certainly offered that, but honestly, I don't think I was really able to make it happen. And of course, I've been in an IMAX theater before, so. And love it. It's a really fun way to view a film. So making an art form that's already incredibly grand, even grander, I'm all for that.
One of the I've seen so many concerts and stuff like that in the IMAX adventure, and the thing is that I love to watch the audience while watching that screen, because the imagination is put inside the physical theater where you're doing it, and I just love that connection with people.
Yes. Well, we don't have an audience in ours. Ours is a filmed performance, and so it's a little bit different, but we're really imparting tons of fun information and facts, and you get to see Paris as well. And so to be able to see Paris through the lens of the arts is kind of a different point of view.
One of the things that's interesting about this is that Kelsey Grammer is a part of this storyline, and sure that's going to sell tickets to get people in there. But what happens is that he has this way of working with people, becoming a part of the journey.
I'm excited to speak with him. I've seen him perform. He's a good singer. He did Man of La Mancha in London that I got to see. And I'm sure he'll have really fascinating things to talk about and really help inform the audience before they get to see it.
What have you learned from this so far? Because, this has got to be something that you're stepping into that is such a great learning tool.
Exactly. Well, for me, it's just that, I frankly... filming with drones, that is definitely outside of my wheelhouse. So that was pretty exciting. One of the clips in Paris is standing on the roof of an opera house that I know really well. Now, we don't get access to the roof typically, so there are fun things like that.
One of the things that I remember going through high school choir and stuff like that, and they would break down the music with the baritone and the tenor, the soprano, the alto. You don't hear much of that, and I'm hoping really deep inside that teachers will come to see this and realize you've got to break it down, and they've got to understand this isn't just about being Justin Bieber or Adele. This is about understanding the whole process of music.
Wow, fascinating that you say that. Wouldn't that be great? If this was a class, is this available to classes? Because I know the Met HD broadcasts have full operas, but this is kind of the greatest hits, which in a way is a fabulous introduction. It's not as long. The gowns that I'm wearing are out of this world. It's not like anything I've seen before. You couldn't even travel with them if you wanted to. They're so big. And so it's really an incredible opportunity. I think you're absolutely right for kind of an intro to opera.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that I think so many times people will step away from going to the opera. I know here at the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center, one of the greatest tools that they've added is that they now have where we can see what you're singing. They put the words up on a screen. And to me, that has brought me even deeper into the story.
Me too. Even operas I know, I can't understand every word that people sing. It's impossible, and it's really a gift to have those super titles.
Do you find yourself going on a big tour and showcasing even more of this after this IMAX adventure?
Well, I'm traveling constantly, so certainly the next time they play them in January, I'll wherever it is that I am, I'll say, come on, go to your local theaters, check it out.
Now, when it comes to opera, I've been blessed with the opportunity to talk to the Joe Perrys and the Steven Tylers of the world and stuff like that, but they always talk to me about one of the reasons why they have the sound check is to go look for the echo, find out where the echo is in the room. When you're singing opera as a soprano, do you do the same thing in these beautiful performing houses where you've got to go figure out where that echo is so it doesn't interfere?
That's really interesting. So they're trying to get rid of the echo. They're not trying to hear themselves louder. I guess I've never heard that phrase before. That's interesting. So for us, because we don't use microphones, we are really learning the acoustic of the hall, the natural acoustic of the hall, and trying to work with it. Sometimes it's really easy, and sometimes it takes an hour. In the middle of a performance, you'll say, I found it. I got it.
Yeah, because, natural reverb. That's like this studio in here with all the soundproofing in the world. I don't want a soundproof room. I got to have some reverb. I've got to have a little bit of echo coming off from something.
Absolutely. It can't be too dead. Nobody wants to sing in a dead room.
Oh, God. No, it hurts. I swear that when I walk into these sound rooms to do voiceover acting, I'll sit there and say, well, you've got to open up a door or something because I'm going to be overdoing my vocals. I don't want to injure my vocals.
Absolutely. You're totally right. When it's dead like that, your brain tries to create a sound with the acoustic, and it uses your voice to do that, which is not healthy.
When it comes to really becoming who you are in an opera, because you're a storyteller, you're a performer, you have to know what's going on that stage because it's been laid out. How do you take all of those things that are expected of you and make it one?
It takes a lot of time. It takes years of training. I always tell people, you could have the greatest voice in the world, but it doesn't mean you can walk on stage at the Metropolitan Opera the next day and have a success. You have to sing I sing in 11 foreign languages. You have to learn the styles of each of these periods and all of the music, all of the different kind of classical styles. It's 300 years of music. It's not today.
How do you deal with that in the way that I know in listening to a Spanish station versus an American station, when the rhythms are completely 100% off. With you knowing so many languages, how do you get that into a rhythm? The song can't be rewritten.
No, you're absolutely right. You have to try and sound like you're an authentic native speaker of that language. Which is a huge amount of time. So when I'm preparing something in Russian, I only listen to Russian singers performing it, so I try to get that in my ear. It's a lot of study, and then we have to learn how to move on stage in period costumes, and some of them are 6 feet wide. So I had to figure out a 3-point turn to get through the door on stage.
Or how do you breathe? Because I'm sure they're tight.
Some of them are. I actually like that. Some singers hate it. I like to have it. It gives me extra support to have a corset on. I'm talking about it's an 18th century corset.
Last week, The Weeknd, a performer, stopped a concert in Los Angeles because he lost his vocals. He knew that he had gone too far. How do you prepare? And more importantly, when that happens, do you step out and have somebody else come in? Because, these vocals here, this is it. This is our livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been able to sing if I have a cold, but if you have a throat infection, then you can't. You have to know. I canceled one time, literally at the beginning of the opera. I didn't go on stage, but I almost did, and thought better of it, and thank goodness I didn't. Because you can injure yourself, and that's a really long recovery.
Well, here in Charlotte, I know that everybody's going to be going to North Lake Mall. That's where they're going to be doing this on the IMAX screen, and I just know they're going to be reaching out to you afterwards because they're going to enjoy the experience, and people, once they do this, they want more. So where can people reach out toward you?
Oh, I have a website. I have a lot of social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Oh, I expect a lot more of these things to come from you because the beauty of it all is going to be something that people are going to talk about.
Thank you. This is a fantastic interview, and I love your name.
Oh, it's just one of those weird radio names. I could have gone as a John Smith or something like that, but I didn't even want to use my real name because Clarence isn't a good radio name. So I said, it's like, okay, we got to do something here.
Oh, Clarence is fun. A rose. That's really great. So thank you so much.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Great talking to you.